We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah. Wake up, the cake up, raise up, or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you, right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the race for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the right flag, they forfeit it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you broke them off. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck, goose, linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossible. Red zone, this my house like my property. Do a quarterback, niggas on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I stiff him, I'm down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. Back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah.
I just hike the ball and I look for the open man. The zone, I'm trying to get in. Open the playbook, the book of the champion. Get flipped if you trying to get in. I got the front defense, they got the end. Going for long, on 1st and the 10. Gotta go hard, we gotta give all. No loss or excuses, cause we gotta win. They say they sleep, must not be a fan. Get at your mans and mess up your plans. Look at your stands and look at your hands. I do what I want and you do what you can. I do it for fans, you do it for fame. EA Sports, we in the...
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Room here to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That's complete to Darbo. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They run with Breida, and he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On play action, they'll throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that is going to be incomplete. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Buying time to his left. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Walton. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Eli Harold. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Forced out to his left. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Steps away. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. He finds an opening past the 40. And down to the 16-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 59 yards. I guess that's what happens when you give the current NFL rushing leader that much room.
And when you do, all you're doing is solidifying his standing at the top of the leaderboard. He's going to continue to get more and more yards. Good luck trying to chase him down.
A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And they'll run it here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
This is Breida. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. He's
got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 48 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of...
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
He'll buy some time right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Detroit! Over!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Gun!
They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a carry for Walton. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And he knocks it through. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now it's Breida. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Watkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. The Niners on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. A tackle that time by Akella Witherspoon. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. Going up top. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick it.
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. The result there is the offense is going to come back on the field. A first down as they get 12 on the fake punt. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
Over! Hurry up, here we go!
He'll look to throw. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. And the 49ers going to take another timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Over the middle, complete. That's Bird. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. Good move by Duke. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Carlson able to put this one through. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Here's Walton. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. It's Bird. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. Blue, line it.
They'll look to throw. He may try and run for this. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
They'll set up a throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Being chased out left. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Walton. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Duke Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Watch him now, Barney.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll toss it to Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. And, Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Detroit. Gun. Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got that one complete to Darbo. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Josh Malone. And that takes us from second to third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Niners on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. That's caught. It's Thomas. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try and sneak it here. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. It's their quarterback. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And he stopped immediately there. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep down. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run with Walton. Space to run past the 20. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And they'll indeed take a knee. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. They need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Now let's go. Green.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now the 49ers going to take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
I remember being taught that cliches have become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie? But this one wasn't sleeping. Maybe it was just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you got the lead. You may have ignited them now. They stopped you.
That's exactly right. If you take the points here, you don't shift momentum necessarily on that play. You probably just do it. Wide open receiver complete. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Mean I'm a buyer, not lacing no beamer. I'm buying no gun, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating 'cause they